Hey there, welcome back to my channel and today's eyeshadow look using the Glam Light palette from Mikayla. This is look number 2 in my week of Mikayla, which is where I upload an entire week's worth of eyeshadow videos using just one palette. Down in the description box, I will link the entire week of playlist. If you're interested in seeing that sort of thing, I have several palettes featured in there now. And if you've never been here before, hi, my name is Rachel and I am a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I really love to play with colorful eyeshadow in general, but especially color. And I upload multiple videos every week. They're all eyeshadow related, so if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Now let's get going with this eyeshadow look because it's just so fun. Priming my eyes using the Glam Light Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting. You can see that I have a little bit of staining. Well, you might be able to see. I have a little bit of staining from yesterday's look, and this primer, because it's so thick, will help conceal a lot of that staining. So for today's look, I definitely want to play with this yellow matte. It's called Handy, and I've used it a lot in my looks because it's a really excellent yellow matte. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to pair it with. I'll probably go a little bit more the blue route to work with my earrings, but I definitely want to play with that yellow. So let's zoom in and get started. I'm starting with this Handy shade and a medium to larger blending brush. I'm going in pretty heavy, and I'm just going to put it in my entire crease area. So I'll start it in the outer corner, but I'm not specifically focusing or concentrating it in one particular part of the crease. It's just a wash of yellow in the whole crease. I liked my first look using this palette, the blue and pink. I thought it was really fun and pretty. I can card above for you a video where I did a pink and green eyeshadow look using just 2 shades in the palette. The only 2 shades I used were Iconic and the Best Color. I've been having... And it's funny because I did that look the day that my sister went home after having visited me for a week or 2 weeks. I forget how long it was. She lives on the other side of the country. It was just so nice to have her visit and spend time with her. And I see her once a year on average. I wish it were more, but such is life. And so I was kind of sad when she left. And I thought, well, why don't I cheer myself up with some bright, colorful eyeshadow? And that look was the result. It was really simple, really easy, just 2 shadows all together. And yet the Glam Light shadows are so pigmented and good. You could get a complete look with just 2 shadows. And it was a bright look. It wasn't just neutrals, you know? It wasn't some sort of neutral look that you could get from 100 other palettes. No, it was a very unique look. Maybe not the most flattering or classy or sophisticated, but it was a lot of fun. I'm just going to put some lip gloss on quickly because my lips feel dry. This is the So Glassy formula from ColourPop. The shade is called Local. I can link it down below for you guys if you're interested. Along with everything I'm wearing is linked down below. But I get dry lips like all year round, and so I like to have a little bit of moisture. Now I want to play, I think, with the shade Freetown. This is a dark blue matte. It's not a true royal blue like the one I used in my first look. This one is a little bit more teal leaning, or maybe oceanic kind of blue. It's pretty. As you can see, I'm laying it on my outer corner. I don't want to go too far because I want to keep that yellow quite visible. So it's definitely yellow in the inner corner. And in the middle, of course, the blue will meet the yellow and turn into green, and that's okay too. But I just want to keep the blue a little bit more in the outer half or so. And then because there's just so much pigment payoff with these shadows, I keep color switching my brush and then buffing at the edges to soften them a little bit because I don't want this color to just go on forever. I do want it to fade. At some point you have to just, it has to be good enough, you know? Especially when you're taking a color that's not a natural skin tone, because I'm not a Smurf. Blue is not going to blend into nothing in my skin tone. It has to end somewhere. So I just buffed it out to the best of my ability until it was good enough. Now I'm dipping back into that same Freetown shade and I'm tapping into the outer corner and crease to add in a little bit extra pigment right there, but I'm not blending in this anymore. I only blended the edges because I want the main color to stay prominent. Now I want to dip into some shimmers, so I'm going to take a flat brush and grab the shade What's Poppin'. I'm going to spray this brush with a setting spray because I want the shadow to be controlled. I don't want fallout, and I do want it to be a tiny bit more metallic. But anyway, I haven't used much in the top rows because they're much more neutral than I tend towards. And I like this palette for the colors that it offers. But the neutrals get forgotten about. I'm placing this shade on most of the lid space, maybe half of it. And then I'm going to merge it to the blue with another shimmer. I don't know why, but the expression "what's poppin'" for some reason, makes me think of the line from The Night That the Lights Went Out in Georgia. That's a night that the lights went out in Georgia. That song. And there's a line where they say, "What's doin' woe?" when the guy is greeting his friend after having been away. "What's doin' woe?" I think is the line. And "What's poppin'" always makes me think of "What's doin' woe." So for random reasons inside Rachel's brain, now that song is in my head. Same brush, I'm gonna color switch it. I've dipped into the shade Audrey and I'm spraying that one as well. Now this is going to help the shimmer meet the matte. So I'm placing Audrey down where the shimmer meets the blue mattes. And it's gonna help transition from formula into color. I did bring the blue a little bit too far onto my lid space though, so I'll just get this blend going and then I'm gonna dip back into that goldish shimmer shade, which I have already forgotten the name of, and I'll carry it further over because I don't want my lid space to be quite this dark this far over. I want it to be darker in the outer corner and a lighter inner third or 2/3. The good thing about Glam Light shimmers, see, is that they're so thick that you can do that. I mean, I'm taking a lighter tone and covering a darker, and it's not a problem. And now, because we can, and my goal with this week of Mikayla is to play with color, I'm taking the same brush. I'm dipping into the shade Stunnin', which really is a fun lime green shimmer. And I'm just taking Stunnin' and putting it right where those two shimmers meet to add just a tiny hint of green, because that's going to match the green where the yellow and blue mattes met. So this is Stunnin', but just a little bit. Almost so little that you're not sure it's there. Now let's do the lower lash line. I'm going to start at the inner corner with a small blending brush and the shade Handy. This is a bright enough matte that it works for me as an inner corner highlight, and I'll drag that on the inner third. Same brush, cleaned off, I'm dipping into the shade Loop. Again, just a hint of green to mirror what I've got going on above. And to keep things a little bit more interesting, I'm taking a small flat brush and taking the shade Bonehead, which I will spray. Bonehead is going to go on the rest of the lower lash line. This is kind of a cross between the blues and the greens. It's a beautiful shimmer shade. It's very, ooh. You could do a great mermaid or peacock look with this shade. Oh, that's pretty. Honestly though, my outer corner isn't dark enough. There's just not enough contrast there. So I'm going to take a small blending brush and grab the shade Willow. Willow is a really deep burgundy matte. It's definitely more purple leaning, but it's going to do fine to deepen out just this outer corner. Just want to add an extra layer of depth. I guess that added a little bit. It didn't add quite the amount of depth I thought it would, probably because of the shadow I put it on top of. If I had grabbed a black from a different palette, that would have given me what I was looking for, but Willow is the deepest shade in the Mikayla palette. And since this is the week of Mikayla, I need to stick with this palette. So this will be fine. It's good enough. I'm gonna go off camera and catch up the other side. I'll be back in a hot second. All right, here we go, all finished up. I put white in my waterline. I didn't do any black eyeliner on top at all, mainly because I forgot, but that's okay. I think it looks good without. On my face, I'm wearing the Tulum palette from BH Cosmetics for bronzer. That is upside down. And I'm also wearing a Nomad highlighter called Positano Sunrise. And then on my lips, because I had already put down that lip gloss from ColourPop, I thought I would add something that had a little bit more body. And so I grabbed the only lipstick in my collection, which is from Burt's Bees. It's called Ruby Ripple, number 521. I'm not really a lipstick girl. I've never found a lipstick formula that I actually like. My preference is lip oils, followed by like lip balms that are a little bit glossy, lip glosses as long as they're not too sticky or thick. Lipstick is just not my thing, but I found this in an old purse and I thought, well, why don't I just throw it in my makeup bin and see if I like it. So I think the color's pretty, but I don't know. For me, I don't really like lipstick. I don't like the way it sinks into the creases of my lips and makes them feel dry and gets on cups. It's gross. Anyway, I don't know if I'll keep it, but that's what I'm wearing right now. So that's the whole look. I think it's so pretty. My favorite color in this look is that Bonehead shimmer in the lower outer corner. That shade is so pretty. It's a rich jewel toned emerald shimmer. So pretty. It would be amazing, like I said, in a mermaid eyeshadow look or a peacock eyeshadow look. I kind of just want to pair it with blues and purples and pinks and aquas. I don't know. It's just such a pretty shadow. And so that was my favorite one in this look. I do like the look. I'm very excited to be playing with colors. I love playing with colorful eyeshadow. Did I mention that? If you like this look, remember to like the video. It's good for the channel. And I appreciate you so much for being here and for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe before you leave. And don't forget to check the description box as well for information about everything I'm wearing, including the palette and the week of playlist. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great day. And until I see you next time, bye.